It's that exciting time of the year. San Diego Comic-Con is around the corner, and all of us WWE action figure collectors are eagerly anticipating what exclusive would Mattel be revealing this year. Mattel sent me this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive ahead of time, as they have done for the last few years, so that I have the opportunity to create content and post online in line with the date reveal. I loved playing with action figures as a kid because I used to be so excited by them. And now as an adult, I love them more because I get the opportunity to create cool content and excite other people through my work, which really gives me an unexplainable thrill. My previous years of creating content for San Diego Comic-Con has been a labor of love. With months of preparations before the announcement, the process has been very meticulous and exhaustive, but the payoff and reward was immeasurable. This video is more about the content creation side of things rather than the products themselves.
The box opening is always one of the most exciting times for me, as you get to see the product in hand first time. You know, there's months, if not over a year, of planning and preparation that has gone into this product, and you are opening what would be the final result. So many professionals and talented artists have been involved in this specific product, which really adds to the anticipation for me as an adult collector. These people want fans and collectors like ourselves to feel the experience of having this product rather than just having a toy. This is the moment where you just absorb what you have in hand. Your eyes are scanning every square inch of the box for details and subtle nuances, which adds to the euphoria of having this exclusive in hand. This set is certainly monumental in terms of the occasion it celebrates. You have Cyndi Lauper, who I believe is the first time we are seeing a pop star being immortalized in WWE Elite action form. You have Roddy Piper and Captain Lou Albano, who helped set the scene for what was the launch of WWE into mainstream entertainment. Everything about this set screams 80s to me. The colors on Cyndi Lauper's outfit, the presence of Roddy Piper and Captain Lou Albano, and most importantly, the box packaging, which is designed like an old school TV. Instantly, I'm taken back into time as I feel a rush of nostalgia, which honestly I know a lot of collectors love. Many young collectors themselves often say they connect back to such times in wrestling through these action figures that were before their time, as they appreciate the history of it. As my eyes soak in these action figures and packaging, my mind begins to flag up details that I could incorporate in making video content for this set. One of the things that got my mouth watering was the old school TV box set. I just love the details along the sides, such as the TV dials and knobs, the air vent, and the wooden textured details along the outside of the box. Them details threw me back to waking up early on a golden bright Saturday morning as the sunshine would beam through the window blinds and begin to light the room. The stickers along the side just added to the 80s experience, as it's all carefully designed to match the tone of that time. The surface scratches and grunge textures laid over the wood and stickers are a work of art. The dials certainly take me back to a time when we would have to dial in the right frequency to get the clearest TV viewing experience. Yes, the struggle was real. The TV box design continues to the back, as it mimics the bulkiness of the old school television sets. We have some text written over a peeling TV sticker, which highlights the importance of this moment in the lore of wrestling history. This moment was one of the first times we had seen celebrities being involved with wrestling, which at that time was probably closer to being your local circus. If it wasn't for moments like this that helped launch wrestling into mainstream pop culture, we could argue wrestling would not be the sports extravaganza we see today. Out of the packaging, the figures look beautiful and packed with details. The colors are vibrant, and we get extra accessories on the side. pretty much everything we are accustomed to when it comes to Mattel WWE Elite action figure sets. The background packaging is taken straight from Piper's pit, which makes sense as it was the place where the three of these stars were involved in setting up this feud. I can safely say it wasn't until I'd seen the back of the packaging till I had my eureka moment and where all the details I wanted to include in my video were beginning to come together. Instantly, I was thrown back to the 80s WWE intro, especially with that classic WWE logo design. It's instant nostalgia. In my splurge of creative ideas, I realized that I should begin the video with the old school TV box packaging to help set the scene for the figures to be revealed. It would only make sense as it would help set the tone of the 80s vibes so that the viewer can understand that we're going old school with this year's Comic-Con exclusives. Given the plastic transparent screen for the box packaging which figures could be displayed in, I wanted to use these practical elements in making the video, which would be a great creative spin on things that are available to me. This is the reverse of the inside box as it switched towards the front on display, and I want to play the 80s intro video within this packaging box as you can see here. I want the viewer to watch the video and feel the nostalgia watching the video and make them feel all gooey and fuzzy and make them want to get this set just because of the packaging itself. Now that I have the genesis for my vision, which is amazing, it brings a few problem solving questions. How do I play the video within this box? Would I have to use a TV or a laptop? How do I get access to within the box and get the screen inside it? Shall I use stop motion or will it be live action video? It didn't take long to figure out my iPad Pro 12 was a good fit, which was a pleasant relief. As you can see, it was a close enough fit and it looks great. It was honestly a relief as I wanted to avoid computer generated work on this just to make sure I present the authentic packaging of the product itself. I wanted to have access from the side of the packaging as it would be easier when doing the video itself. So I had to force open one of the side panels, which did kind of hurt as I wanted to keep the packaging intact, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Now with everything shaping up nicely, I decided I'll record the video as live action footage rather than doing it as stop motion, just to help save time. So now came the time to jump onto After Effects, where I would go through the process of creating the video itself that would be played on the iPad and would be projected through the boxed packaging, which would then be recorded on live action footage. Simple. My vision is to show the TV start up, which would lead to a screen with a static TV noise, something kids from the 80s would know, which would then clear out to show the old school WWE 80s intro, which yes, I will have to recreate step by step, and then we reveal the Cyndi Lauper figure. This is the glorious interface of After Effects, where all the magic begins. I've been using this software for nearly 10 years, and so I have amassed a lot of skills and knowledge with this, and my idea is to just breeze you through the process and not bore you with the technicalities, which I find fun, but I know it's quite time consuming and can be quite boring for many. The size of the composition is 2732 by 2048 specifically, which is the aspect ratio of my iPad, so I have to make sure everything is aligned from the beginning. Just to swiftly get started, I began with 3 layers. The first was the base plate, just to make sure the alignment was in center and correct, upon which the rest of the effects would be built upon. I had 2 additional WWE logos stacked on top as separate layers. You can see the very top one is just the outline of the WWE logo, which is there for a reason you'll see later. So I began first with creating the static TV effect, which would be made with some simple After Effects tools and layered on top of the existing assets within the composition. Moving on from the TV effect, I began work on the WWE intro, which had to be broken down into stages. I first began with the simple logo and split it into 2 parts because, as you would recall, the WWE logo entered the shot as 2 separate elements and then collided together before forming as one. I added the stars behind the shot and then brought the intro footage as reference to match the animation timing.
There's a lot of subtle things happening that I tried to capture during this process to make sure I don't miss anything out in the visual experience of the intro. Once the animation was all locked in, I had to get the textured layer moving over the 3D assets, one keyframe at a time, which you can imagine is a very time consuming process, but the results are worth it every time. Following the textured layer, we see the formation of the inner logo with the zapping laser lights, which forms what looks like a bronze or a golden plate before normalizing its appearance into the WWE logo. Again, I followed the video reference step by step along the masking process, added a nice shining glow. Then I jumped into Photoshop to use generative fill to get the right look for the material. It took a few prompts, but we eventually got there. At this point, all you're doing is stacking digital effects. I added sparks to sell the impact of the laser hits, again keyframing them along with the formation of the texture. It's a tedious process, but honestly I love doing this stuff. Sometimes it can take hours, if not days, to make footage which literally lasts for a few seconds. The viewer may not even fully catch it by eye, but they certainly feel it, which is key. The last of the detailing I wanted to finish this off with was the shiny stars and getting a lot of that old TV grunge look with the noise and the grainy footage to tie everything together.
And the very last part was to add the still image of Cyndi Lauper going across from the screen, just as she did in the very beginning of the music video for Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, as we transition from black to white.
With the footage all complete, it was time to set up the scene. I wanted to make sure everything was dark, just highlight the TV box in the center of the screen. The idea is to keep the lighting subtle, but keep it all around the box set. I exported the footage and brought it onto the iPad. Because of how nimble the setup was and I knew it was going to be a bit tricky, I gave myself a few more seconds on the footage with a countdown so I can make sure as soon as I pressed play on the iPad, quickly put it into the box, close it up, make sure the focus was correct, the lighting was good, and I was able to press record in good time.
As I wanted to have the transformational change from the dark to the white setting, whilst keeping the box in the same place, I had to carefully bring in the white paper roll and correctly eye up the positioning of the box setup in the same location. And just to make sure the box was in the same place, I was able to do that in post-production and then mask the change seamlessly. Once that video was done, I had brought that footage onto After Effects and had to add more details on top of that. At this point, this is like Inception. We're working on footage which is recorded on another footage, and we're adding more details on that footage. If you recall the WWE intro, we see the laser lights hitting the WWE logo. My idea was to show the laser lights coming from outside the TV box packaging and hitting the logo inside, which meant I had to painstakingly add a lot of laser lights. And to bring it all together, I had recorded different colored lighting on the box packaging so I can help integrate the light and composite it all together. And after getting some clips from Epidemic Sound, this is how the video came out. Unfortunately, I'm unable to add the music layover due to copyright issues, but at least you can see how the visual has all come together. So that's the full process, from the light to getting the camera movement right, all the way through to the final composite in After Effects. But I want to take a second to talk about what this set is actually about. This just isn't 3 action figures in the box. This is Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, and Captain Lou Albano. This is the rock and wrestling connection. This is the moment wrestling stopped being just wrestling and became genuine pop culture. Mattel have done something really special here with this San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. The likeness on all 3 figures is incredible. Cyndi especially, the hair, the expression, the costume detail.
You can see exactly who she is in that moment you look at her. For a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, this is exactly what collectors want. And for me personally, this is why I do what I do at Battle Stories. These figures deserve more than just sitting on a shelf. They have a story, they have an era, they have an energy, and my job is to try capture that. To make you feel something when you watch it, even if it's only for 15 seconds. That's what stop motion filmmaking is about for me. This is not about the toy, it's about the story with the toy. Now if you want to get your hands on this incredible set, here's what you need to know. If you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, the figures are available from Wednesday 22nd of July right through to Sunday 26th of July. Alternatively, MattelCreations.com, Thursday 23rd of July 9 AM Pacific time. That's 5 PM here in the UK, so if you're watching from Britain, make sure you set yourself a reminder. The link is in the description below. It's also worth saying this is the first time ever we're seeing Cyndi Lauper in WWE action figure form. So whether you're a collector, a wrestling fan, or just someone who grew up with the rock and wrestling era, this is genuinely one that matters. If you enjoyed seeing the process behind this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Every single video is built around craft, creativity, and cinematic storytelling with action figures. If you haven't seen the finished short yet, the link is in the description below. Go check it out, let me know what you think in the comments. Till then, I'll see you in the next video.